Minutes now after 7 o'clock.
I don't know what to do.
What?
Well, I like the iPad, but now this iPad 2 is coming out, and it has a camera in it.
That seems to be the biggest feature as far as this new one. And I think it's lighter. Let's go to Carrie Barrett.
Okay.
She's with our tech expert, Anthony Mangaluzzo. Now, you guys are in our green room, kind of giving us a preview of what we can expect here. Is that the biggest thing, this camera on the iPad 2?
I think that is pretty much the biggest thing. We've been talking about the iPad 2 for the last couple of minutes. And Mike, before you run out and get one, you're going to want to hear what we have to say because it might not necessarily be the best time to do it. Anthony Mangaluzzo, of course, joining us right now. This is the iPad 1. We wish we had an iPad 2 to show you, but unfortunately we haven't been able to get our hands on one. The iPad 2, it's a little bit smaller, 2 inches or so smaller.
2 inches, they're saying. That's the rumor.
Okay, a little bit thinner.
Little bit faster.
Okay, the biggest change though, as Chanel just mentioned, is the camera.
That's the biggest.
The iPad 1 doesn't have a camera at all. What's the deal with the iPad 2?
The iPad 2 is actually going to go even a little bit better. It's not going to have one camera. It's going to have two.
All right.
It's going to have one on the front.
Okay.
And then one on the back so you could do the FaceTime.
Okay, and you're showing us, this is a Zoom, a Motorola
right here,
Zoom, but it has a similar camera on it.
Yes,
Yeah?
this
Okay.
is a
How does it
Motorola
work?
Zoom right here. And this is what the iPad 2 is going to look like camera-wise. It has a front-facing camera, and you could hit the button right there and switch it, and it goes backwards. And that's really what they're looking to do with the iPad 2. Major feature increase and something that people are looking for.
Okay, so it's going to operate a little bit faster, but you say the difference is incremental. It's not necessary to go out and spend $800 and buy a new iPad, no?
No, I looked at all the specs, all the rumors, all the releases. The newest things are it's going to have an SD card so you can put a chip into it.
Okay.
Now, granted, your iPad 2, even the smallest version, is going to offer 16 gigs of storage.
Sure.
That's a lot. Second thing, camera, which is kind of neat, but for someone like me, I really don't use that feature. So I don't see a big reason to get it. Now, if you do not have a tablet, sure, go for the iPad 2. Get the latest and greatest because you know what? In 6 months anyway, the iPad 3 is going to come out, then the 4, then the 5, and on we go.
And it comes in white too. That's another change.
It could. That's the big news. It could be in white.
Okay, the Zoom is the closest competitor to the iPad. There are a couple of hundred of these tablets out there. None of them come close, you say, though.
None of them come close.
What is that?
And this tablet right here, I was very disappointed. This was my #1 pick for the Consumer Electronics Show. It doesn't work with a lot of the applications, and they released it, and it's not fully functional.
So you're paying $800 for this thing, but you can't. What can't you do on it?
Well, the SD card for #1 doesn't work. They said, you know what? We're going to release an update in a couple weeks for you. The operating system is still buggy. Applications crash like crazy on this thing. So I think this will be a good tablet within the next 6 months. But what you're paying for now, you're not getting your money's worth.
Gotcha. Okay, that's very good to know. And another thing we need to know too, when these iPads come out, or when any new product, especially by Apple, comes out, there are huge lines. There are often shortages. People can get their hands on these products. I think there's going to be the same thing this time around?
Yes, there's reports in the Wall Street Journal and other online publications that they're actually having a production issue at the factory. So now already had the high demand already, and then a shortage on the supply line. iPad 2s are going to be going for a big ticket on eBay.
And now, price range for these things. I know there's a wide range of prices. $499 for ones with the lowest storage, up to what, $829? Is that going to be similar for the iPad 2? Talk to us about that.
Very similar. It'll be based on if it has 3G, which is your wireless internet anywhere. If it just has a wireless card and how much storage. So there's a lot of different price points to get in at. So they do make a good range. Like again, this device here with a contract was $599. I didn't get the contract. It cost me $799. Plus tax, of course.
And of course, it doesn't work.
And it sort of works a little bit.
That's the kicker. Oh my goodness. All right, Anthony, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. Absolutely. All right, so if you don't have an iPad and you're really desperate for one, maybe go out and get the iPad 2. But if you already have an iPad 1, it doesn't look like there are going to be that many substantial changes.
You have not changed my mind. I want the iPad 2.
He likes the camera aspect. He wants to Skype. He likes that.
And the FaceTime, I agree. You know, when you can talk to somebody and actually see their face.
I got a daughter in San Francisco, one in Kansas City. How fun is that? I can be out and about at night, and hey, look where I am.
Man about town.
Here's the thing, Carrie. When can I get it?
It is. When is this coming out? It's coming out. They're making the announcement
Rumor
today.
is April.
Okay.
Rumor is April.
Some
Announcement
time.
comes today, very soon.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Carrie.
7:25. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett is getting